You're listening to Carolina Forest Panther football on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And it starts right now.
It's the Battle of 501 here at Panther Stadium as the Carolina Forest Panthers get set to take on the Conway Tigers from just up 501. My name is Brandon Biskobing. I'll be bringing you all the action, and joining me as usual, Brogan Hillman, as the 4-3-1 Panthers get set to take on the 1-7 Tigers here in what was supposed to be the last week of the season, but of course, because of Hurricane Helena, a couple of weeks ago, the game against North Myrtle Beach got pushed back to next week, so that will be the official end of the season. But, Brogan, before we get to this game, obviously big rivalry game and everything, bragging rights are on the line. We have to talk about last week and just the utterly dominant performance of one Jaron Fox.
That's right. And that is a scary, scary man. We know Conway's been watching film. We know Conway's been preparing for one man in particular, and there's a good reason. Jaron Fox, over 400 all-purpose yards, 5 touchdowns last week against Myrtle. When they needed the run game most, Fox showed up, and he delivered an absolute just stud performance.
Yeah, like you mentioned, 357 rushing yards along with that little dump-off pass that he took to the house, 5 total touchdowns. And the crazy part about it, and I mentioned it during the game last week, I mentioned it at halftime, he could have had 6 or 7 touchdowns last week because there were a couple of plays in the first half where he was just one man. He just needed to beat one more guy to take it to the house. And he was just biding his time, finding those holes, waiting for the perfect opportunity. And you look at it, you say 5 touchdowns. Wow, that's amazing. 4 of those 5 touchdowns were in the second half. So he kind of just waited, was patient, waited for the openings to open up, and finally found them in the second half and was able to have a dominant second half performance. Tonight, I don't think he's going to have to worry about that as much because obviously Conway's defense is not nearly to the level of Myrtle Beach, and this game is a home game. It's a rivalry game. Before we get to a few predictions and just talking about this game, how much as a player, obviously this is a rivalry game. It's a game that you're anticipating all season long, but in the grand scheme of things, especially with how Conway has been in the past few years, Panthers have beaten Conway the last 4 seasons, and, has beaten them the last 3 seasons, and then they're trying to beat them 6 of the last 7 seasons, or 6 of the last 7 times, rather. Does that, obviously this has been more dominant of Carolina Forest, so is there a bit of a deflating of the balloon, shall we say, in coming into this game after the high of last week?
I would say no. And my reasoning for that would be, if there's one game all year that you see the most students at, you see the most excitement built around, it's homecoming. And that is tonight for these Panthers. It is the homecoming game against Conway, which it just so happens it lands on rivalry week because of what we saw with the shift in the schedule. So that just makes this game even more anticipated just for fans alone. They love the energy of homecoming. They love all the performances put on. The pep rally was this morning for the high school. They love everything. They had the parade right after school. It's just all the anticipation, the excitement to witness for most of these students their last homecoming as seniors. A lot of the freshmen, their very first homecoming. I just know that around the student body, if there's one game that every student can mark off their calendar, not even a big sports fan, it's the homecoming game.
That is a good point that we didn't bring up before, is the fact that tonight is homecoming as well. It was supposed to be the North Myrtle Beach game, and this would have been senior night, but they reversed them with the change in schedule. So, yeah, the fact that this is homecoming, it's the rivalry game. You are probably correct that there won't be really much of a layoff or much of a deflating of the balloon after last week, because this is maybe not in terms of the region and in terms of records, but in terms of the school itself wanting to get this win. This game is just as big as last week was. So, yeah, we talked about it before. Jaron Fox, dominant performance last week. And I know with rivalry games, you talk about it in high school, college, pros, no matter what level you're at, no matter the record, a rivalry game, it seems like the parity gets a little better between the two teams when it's a rivalry game. You could go into your rivalry game being 0-10 and still manage to pull it out just because of that extra hype and extra momentum of it being the rivalry game. But with that being said, Jaron Fox, 5 touchdowns last week, over under 4 tonight.
I'm going to go over.
Okay.
I think the way, with what you alluded to earlier, the way that he was running in the first half, just inching forward and forward, just not being able to beat out that secondary instantly. And then as you also mentioned, this defense not being nearly as strong as that Myrtle Beach Seahawks defense, I feel like he's going to get going a lot faster. I feel like he's going to break those runs very, very early in this game. And before we know it, this could get run all the way up in the first, maybe second quarter. And this ball game's blown out of the water just from Jaron Fox alone in the first half after a dominant second half he had against Myrtle Beach. So if he carries that over, we could be looking at a very high touchdown rate tonight for Jaron Fox.
I agree. We'll have a few more questions for you in a moment, but we'll take a quick break for the national anthem and then come back with some more analysis and get you ready for kickoff here for homecoming at Panther Stadium on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood with Tony McAfee. It's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Welcome back as we are just a few minutes away from kickoff here for homecoming and rivalry week in Region 6 5A Super Beach region here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network. And Brogan, we were talking about it before we went to the break. Great rendition of the national anthem by the marching band, as always. But you mentioned Jaron Fox being able to break some big ones early on in this game, more than likely, because of a much weaker defense he's going up against. Do you expect this game to be to the point where we only see Jaron Fox for the first half?
I do. I expect this to get going early. I expect him to break off those runs that he couldn't in the first half against Myrtle in the first half of this game. I feel like, knowing the type of competitor Jaron Fox is, even though he put up Blitz Player of the Week stats, even though he was considered for awards this week, even though he was all over for the past week, he's still dissatisfied with that performance.
Yeah.
He wants to go out and he wants to double it.
Yeah.
He wants to do what he can to just keep playing football and keep moving.
I'm sure a couple of those runs where he just had that one man to beat it are still eating at him this week, and he wants to show that last week wasn't a fluke and he can do it again.
Absolutely.
Panthers really going all out tonight. Brought out the inflatable helmet to run out of tonight. So it's definitely homecoming, that's for sure.
That's right.
And this should be a fun one. I think I know what the answer to this question is going to be, but what are some of the keys to the game for the Panthers to win this one?
Well, I have one that
I think I can name one. It's a number 28.
I don't know how you guessed, but that was an amazing guess because you're spot on. It is. My main key, number 28, the workload of this offense, Jaron Fox.
Yes.
Get him going, you win the game. We've seen it throughout the season, games that he has not gotten going to his maximum capability. It has not been the best result in the win column. The games that he has lived up to his full potential, running the ball on the ground, it has added up to wins in the win column. So your obvious key, number one, point blank, get Jaron Fox going. Then another key with this Conway offense. We talked about balanced offense. We saw it a whole lot against Myrtle Beach. This is also a Conway offense that can spread the field a little bit on you. They can get up vertical. They can run the ball a little bit. So that's secondary that we've seen a little bit of issues in this season overall. Really try to get them going early as well. Feed off the early momentum that your running back is going to give you. We already know he's going to give you that sort of momentum, that jump early. Feed off of that and do something for yourself as well on defense. Make some plays on defense. Fly around the field. Hit some people. Make some big plays. Get this energy going. Get the crowd going. You just need to build momentum on both sides, ride the momentum high, and keep it going all throughout the game. And alluding to something that we were talking about earlier with it being homecoming and a rivalry match, also the fact there hasn't been a home game here since September 13th.
Yeah.
That's nearing 2 months ago.
Yeah, a month and a half since the last home game. Obviously, it was supposed to be a little shorter, but not by much. They were supposed to go a whole month without playing a home game anyway. But then moving the North Myrtle Beach game back as the Panthers are getting ready to come out of the helmet, and they are out of the helmet and onto the field. Your 2024 Carolina Forest Panthers taking the field tonight for homecoming. And we talked about it a little bit last week with the Myrtle Beach game. Obviously, this place has a little smaller capacity than Doug Shaw, but I feel like and you were talking about it, homecoming is the biggest game of the season, but it feels more packed here than it did at Doug Shaw last week. And even on the visitor side, Conway, I feel like they showed up maybe not quite as good as Carolina Forest did last week for Myrtle Beach, but they showed out as well. So this is going to be a very hyped crowd, a very fun game, and the Panthers are definitely going to look to get a big win, keep their undefeated record in Region 6-5A.
That's exactly right. And something that you mentioned before we came on air, the band traveled as well.
Yes, the band traveled as well for Conway. So the old school band kid in me is hoping for a band battle tonight during the game. So we might get some We might get some fun tonight.
And I'm all for it. I'm here for the experience. Not only are we broadcasting the game, we're front row for this energy.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
front row for this crowd. I'm ready just for a great home experience. Because, again, almost 2 months without a home game in high school is insane.
That is insane.
And this place is rocking.
Yeah. I didn't see the coin toss, so not sure who won, but either way, Carolina Forest will kick off to start this one. So they will get the ball to start the second half. If they won, that's not surprising because they're gonna lean on that defense and say, "Hey, Conway offense, just try to beat us."
That's exactly right. They're gonna put the ball in their court and just say, "Hey, come out and play your best brand of ball. We got ours ready. We're on the sideline. Our heads are on straight. Show us what you got."
One final thought before we get the kickoff. We were talking about the Conway offense. The Conway broadcaster, as we are underway, the kick is up, and it will be taken at the 12-yard line, trying to get around the edge, still on his feet, and finally getting taken down at the 30-yard line is Jamel Davis. And Tristan Green will tackle him down at around the 30-yard line. But I was talking to the Conway broadcasters, Ashley Smith, and he said, surprisingly, the wide receivers for Conway aren't all that great, but the quarterback, Noah Legg, does have an arm on him. But surprisingly, Jordan Jenkins, one of the wide receivers, is the one Conway player with an offer right now, getting an offer from Charlotte, as the first play from scrimmage is a handoff to Jaquan Brantley, and he will get a loss of 1 yard, and that'll set up a 2nd and 11 for Conway to start this game off. Good start for the defense.
And that's the man coming off the edge, Anthony Cunningham, we've been talking about all season. He is very electric coming off the line, and he laid a big hit to start off this game.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side for Conway. Snap, 3-step drop, looking near side, a low throw. It was easily handled, but Jenkins, who I mentioned, who has the Charlotte offer, he was wide open and drops the screen pass, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11.
And traveling with a rivalry, homecoming, packed out crowd, that'll do it to you.
Well, I mean, we talked about it last week with the Myrtle Beach game, but the same thought holds true for this one as well. The jitters, those early game butterflies coming to play a factor early on.
They
Snap,
are very real.
3-step drop, throws it near side. It is caught this time on the near side flat. Jenkins with the catch, but he gets pushed out of bounds after a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 4th and 8. So a quick 3 and out for the Panther defense.
And already we saw the defense, just like you mentioned, fit up, play great in the run game. You have one pass in there dropped by their star receiver, and you saw those jitters get going early, the crowd get into the game, and that's exactly what you want for that defense. We talked about getting them going, secondary, everyone making plays and building momentum. That's exactly what they do on the first drive, 3 and out for the Panthers.
Lou Auguste comes out to punt it away. Whistles are blown. Waiting on a call by the officials. Might be a false start on Conway. And, oh, no, it'll be an offsides on the Panthers. So that'll push them up 5 yards and make it a 4th and 4, or 4th and 3. And now, yeah, it looks like they are still just going to punt it away, still with the ball being back relatively deep in Conway territory on the 39-yard line. Snap, go, and they're going to go with a fake. They're going to go with a fake, and they're going to get the first down and more all the way up to the Carolina Forest 40.
And that had me fooled. That had everyone in the stadium fooled. You see the punter sort of catch the ball, and I'm wondering what he's doing. He's not getting the ball out.
I thought it was a fake punt pass.
That's what I thought, too, and then I realized he's already up near midfield running the ball. That's a very well-designed fake punt, and that fooled everyone here in the stadium. So now, Tigers pushing deep into Panthers territory, starting off.
A little trickeration. They'll actually mark him down at the 44-yard line. So that'll be where the next series will start for Conway. Bunch trips on the near side for the Tigers. Snap. Screen pass out, and that ball that is blown up in the backfield. What a huge tackle by Jelani Alicia on Tremaine Hunter, who caught the screen pass, and there was no one protecting him. And Alicia was able to get into the backfield for a loss of 3.
And that's another junior that they are so excited about in this organization. Jelani Alicia, he guarded me a couple times in practice. He is a very physical, fit-up corner, very talented there, junior.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Little floater out is caught along the far side flat. Going down the sideline is Jenkins, and he'll get pushed out of bounds, but not before Conway gets another first down. Something to note, and I'm curious to see if this plays any factor. Noah Legg is a southpaw. He's a lefty. Does that, especially in high school where you don't see it very often, does that change anything on the secondary, as they'll snap it, hand it off to Brantley, but he'll get taken down after a gain of 1. Actually, that will be Noah Legg that kept it himself for the gain of 1 on a read option.
I wouldn't say it necessarily changes anything. It just gives a weirder look. You're not used to it, so it sort of throws you off at first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's just a sort of a little bit of a mental game, but as soon as you sort of ease into the game and get used to it, it's really just the same as guarding a righty, but it's just a little weird mental game to play to start off, and especially something you're not used to. It's weird.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side for Conway. 2nd and 9, ball on the 30-yard line of Carolina Forest. 2-step drop, lofting it up into the air, and it is caught in the... Oh, no, it will just fall incomplete. A good ball. Tried to get it out to Javon Smalls on the far side sideline, but just a little overthrown.
And like you mentioned, great pass heading toward the sideline there in the end zone. Just couldn't get a foot down. He put that thing exactly where it needed to be. That was a great throw by the southpaw, like you just mentioned, and great precision in the back of the end zone right there. Almost laid it on him.
That'll bring up 3rd and 9 from the 30. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the other side, rolling out to his left, throwing it on the run into the end zone, but out of reach of everyone. And that'll bring up a 4th down. And now, probably too far for a field goal attempt. And there is a flag as well, I believe. Yeah, there is a flag. So this may be getting pushed even further back.
And I think we sort of see that. Sox, the offense, know it. Looks like they're heading back a little bit. Someone might have jumped. Might have been a little bit of a hold call there. Still waiting on it, but definitely appears to be on the Conway offense.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding on Conway. So that'll push him even further back. Kind of surprised that Carolina Forest accepted the penalty, because if you decline it, it's 4th down. But I guess with more than likely, as I was about to say, more than likely Conway having to go for it, considering where on the field they were, Carolina Forest said, hey, we better give you more space to have to go on this one. Snap, 3-step drop, throws it to the far side, and it's overthrows everyone. And that will bring up 4th down. So the acceptance of the penalty actually works out in Carolina Forest's favor. So now they are absolutely out of field goal range, and they're going to have to punt from Carolina Forest 40.
And now with the fake punt earlier in the drive, sort of CF's going to be on their toes a little bit. You don't believe it's going to be 4th and 19 fake punt, but you never know what they try to pull out. Bag of tricks here early in a rivalry game. Still got to look out for it, be on your toes a little bit, but I wouldn't be too
especially
skeptical.
with this ball being in Carolina Forest territory, but they are going to punt it away. It's going to be a short punt. Actually, they let it bounce, and it'll take a bit of a neutral bounce. Bounced one way, bounced another way, and then is finally down at the 17-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will start on their first drive of the evening with 8:13 remaining in the first quarter.
Repeat, if your name is Michael, check to see if you have
And we thought we had him earlier in the drive, but we got him later. Just take a little hiccup, a little first drive. Trickeration was not expecting that at all. Finally,
hey, it's a rivalry game.
That's exactly right.
You're going to pull out all the stops.
Pulling out all the tricks out of their bag.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Snap, hands off to Fox. Fox nowhere to go on this one. Wrapped up after a gain of, they'll say 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8. I think that's the shortest run that Jaron Fox has had in a couple of weeks. That's how dominant he's been over the past few weeks.
That's exactly right. He's just able to find those holes and explode through them at such a high rate. It's sort of impossible for these guys to get on him early, especially with the way he's able to break the first tackle.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Mullen takes a snap, hands off to Fox. Fox again can't find anywhere to go, and he's wrapped up for no gain. So a surprise after how dominant Jaron Fox has been over the last couple of weeks, and presumably how weak the Conway defense is, that he is limited to 1 yard per carry thus far in this game. I don't think we've ever had the opportunity to say that this season, even in some of the losses for the Panthers. Play action pass, screen pass out, is caught along the sideline, still going, and finally getting pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Good catch. That was Raheem Frazier who makes the catch for the Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And that right there brings up a point I was about to mention. Them focusing and dialing in on that run game so much is really going to open up that pass game for the Panthers offense. And I would not be surprised if we saw one of the biggest nights of the season from Patrick Mullen tonight. Another
run for Fox, this time a little better, getting 4 yards. And that'll bring up a second and 6. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane. Another decent gain. Gets a gain of about 4, and that'll bring up actually they'll only say he got 3, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 4 from the 40. 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
Another one of these 3rd and mid for the Carolina Force offense. A very awkward position to be, because we know they love to throw the ball on 3rd down as of recent. So it'll be interesting to see what the call is here.
Snap, they'll go speed option, pitches it out to Fox. Fox tries to get around the corner, and he gets wrapped up from behind and pulled down after only a gain of 1. A huge tackle along the sideline by Gabe Williams to avoid Fox being able to get around the edge.
That's right, and that chase down speed from the edge to get to a guy as speedy as Fox is very, very impressive at that DN spot. Just made a great play on 3rd down when they needed him. And now these Panthers, 4th and 4, looks like they're going to go for it in their own territory.
Yeah, they're going to go for it on 4th and 3 from their own 41-yard line. Both teams going for it on their first drives. Conway on a fake punt on their first drive, and they were successful on it. Shotgun set. 1 wide on either side. They'll hand it off to Fox, and Fox gets stood up at the last scrimmage. It's a turnover on downs for Carolina Forest. Lou Augusta coming in from the defensive end slot and swallowing Fox up for the loss.
And that's exactly what happens when a team focuses so much on one particular spot of an offense. We can tell what they've been scouting. We knew going into this that all their focus was going to be in that run game, specifically Jaron Fox, and they show it on that opening drive. They get big stand-up stops on Fox, and they don't let him go anywhere, drag him down on 4th down. They take over in Panthers territory.
And now Conway in prime real estate to start off their second drive, stepping up into the pocket and throwing on the run and completing it in the middle of the field. Noah Legg gets it to Jordan Jenkins, and it will be just short of, oh no, they're going to actually say he dropped it, so it'll be a 2nd and 10. Looked like Jenkins had it as he was going down to the ground, but the refs say no catch, so it'll be an incomplete pass. 2nd and 10, ball on the 41-yard line. 3-step drop, throwing it down the middle of the field, and again trying to go to Jenkins, and this time Jenkins is not able to corral it, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 10.
And early on, we see for Conway, the struggle has just been holding on to the football through the air.
And that's something that Ashley Smith, the Conway broadcaster, told me, is that the Noah Legg has a good arm. It's just that the wide receivers have a bit of stone hands, shall we say.
That's right, and I think a lot of it tonight especially just does not help add on to that aspect of their play at all.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side, rolling out to his right and throwing on the run way out of the reach of everyone. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Javon Smalls, and that'll bring up a 4th and 10. And after the Panthers turn it over on downs in their own territory, Conway is not able to capitalize. I'm shocked. This has been a defensive battle thus far.
And for me, that's a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Being able to see your secondary hold up 3 plays in a row through the air, 4th and 10, all 3 of those balls fall incomplete. They were not able to get a completion on that drive. For a secondary that has been the struggle of this defense, that makes me very, very just happy with the way that defense is playing.
Auguste punts it away. He'll take a Conway bounce and roll down to the 7-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will take over on offense.
So far, like you mentioned, just a defensive battle coming out here, trading punts back and forth, and not the matchup that we were expecting to see coming into this at all.
Over halfway through the first quarter already, and it's still scoreless. Not at all what I think anyone expected coming into this battle of 501.
And now for me, it's a matter of fact, if Jaron Fox can break one here and give you all that momentum that you were expecting, then I think we'll sort of see this game fall into place where we should have expected it coming in.
They'll go with the shotgun 2 running back set to start off this drive. Both Fox and Livingston in the backfield with Patrick Mullen.
So you got to imagine, especially with this dual back set, they're trying to get that run game established. It's going right back down to the ground game.
The ref is discussing something with Conway head coach Josh Pierce. Not sure exactly what they're discussing, but either way, it seems like Pierce got his explanation, and we are set to get underway once again. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 6-yard line. Shotgun 2 running back set. Mullen takes a snap, hands it off to Fox. Fox finds the lane, and he's gone! 40, 50, 2 men to beat. He is not able to break through the gauntlet. He's not able to break through the pinch, but he is able to get a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down and more, bringing it. Let's see.
I believe a 60-yard run straight off the rip.
I think 65 yards, 64-yard carry for Jaron Fox to put the Panthers in prime real estate. 2 running backs set again. This time Fox is tripped up after another big gain, this time a gain of 11. Another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. And all those questions after the first drive of is Jaron Fox able to get to the second level and beyond have been answered. They'll hand it off once again, trying to find a lane. This time he is wrapped up after a gain of 3.
And it was actually on that big run with that dual back set, Chris Livingston, the one that was able to hit the next level.
Well, that last run was actually Javier Higgins who carried it. So maybe changing the dynamic and not relying so much on Fox is the way to get him going. They'll go to running back set again. Livingston and Fox in the backfield. Snap, hands it off to Fox, and he's gone. 10-5, touchdown Panthers.
And that's exactly what you need to see is Jaron Fox get established on the run. They established the run throughout. We saw 3 different backs on that drive right there. A quick drive, 4 plays, 3 different backs touch the ball. Jaron Fox is the one to close it out with a 22-yard punch into the end zone. And this is the type of outcome we expected coming into the game, and that gives you a breath of fresh air. You're holding your breath to start off the game a little bit. Now you can sort of breathe in, breathe out, and let all that go.
Dominant drive for the Panthers. The extra point is up and good. And with just a little under 4 minutes left to go in the first quarter, Panthers open up the scoring, putting a touchdown on the board. 7-0 Panthers here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee right here in Carolina Forest can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
3:51 left to go in the first quarter. Panthers opening up the scoring with a huge drive on the ground, capped off by a Jaron Fox touchdown. Surprise, surprise.
That's exactly right.
There's one.
There's one.
We'll see how many more he gets tonight.
And just being able to pick apart that defense is what we expected coming in. Just 2 explosive runs back-to-back to be able to punch into the end zone. That's exactly what you need to see on the ground for the Panthers. And you hope they can continue that momentum on defense the way that they've been playing, put it right back in the hands of your offense, and just let them do it again.
The Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group dockside kickoff is taken at the 30-yard line, and just a short little gain brings it up to the 35-yard line. First and 10, ball on the 35-yard line. Bunch trips on the near side for Conway. Snap. They'll go screen pass, and again it's blown up in the backfield. Again, Jelani Alicia able to get into the backfield and absolutely blow up Tremaine Hunter on the screen pass. I think it's safe to say that that play is not working for Conway.
He's just so good, recognizing the screen, getting downhill, man in his face, trying to fit up and block him. He lays a little move, a little hesitation, gets right around the receiver, fits up with him, and lays a hit on the screen pass, reads it perfectly, and Jelani Alicia quickly becoming a name in that secondary for the Panthers.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Goes with the fake screen and now lofts it into the air to a wide open man, but again overthrown. Tried to get to Jenkins again, and this time leg just put too much air on it and well over the head of Jordan Jenkins.
And that's the concern with a matchup such as this, is we know Conway has a little bit of a vertical game with their southpaw quarterback. Wide open, caught the Panther secondary sleeping on that play. If he was able to put it on his chest, that is a walk-in touchdown for the Tigers, and that's something the Panthers have to tighten down going down the line.
And that was an issue they had last week as well against Myrtle Beach, is them being blown out, them being shot through by wide receivers. They'll go empty backfield, they'll go with the jet sweep, and again the Panthers right there blowing it up. A prowl of Panthers pushing Jaquan Brantley back for a loss of almost 10. Looks like they'll say he is down at the 27-yard line, so it'll be a loss of 8.
And that play started at the 35-yard line. By the time they were done pushing and shoving down there, he came out around the 10.
Yeah.
They were all over that, swarming, hat on a ball, just moving that guy back. Had no chance from the jump. A great read from the Panthers defense, and another one of these 3-and-outs.
Another 3-and-out for the Panthers as Lou Auguste comes out and whistles are blown. There is a flag.
And if this is an offsides for the Panthers defense, we've already seen it once on a punt unit.
Punt, yeah.
And that's what led to that fake punt. This one obviously a lot deeper back in their own territory, but again, just an early issue being exposed here for the Panthers.
It's not an offsides, but
I think the Panthers outnumbered them on the last.
they had too many men. But that again, another mistake on a punt for the Panthers, and that's not a good sign. Now, does it really matter in this game? Probably not, but still not something you want to see. And they will get the punt off. It will be fair caught at the 32-yard line by Carson Quant. And the Panthers will start on offense right there.
And that fake punt, that's why I think that was a very smart decision off the rip for the Conway Tigers. Not only did they convert on that fake punt and get all the way into Panthers territory, that's sort of a mental game installed into that Panthers cover unit, as we saw that little effect, little hesitation from the Panthers. Could they possibly do it again? Is that something we need to look out for? Could have been the issue drawing that 12-man penalty.
Yeah. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Screen pass is caught, trying to find a lane and getting a first down and a tiny bit more. That was Caden Cole on the catch. And that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And early on, we're seeing the ability from the Panthers to be able to spread the field and actually pass through the air. 2 passes have been very successful so far for the Panthers and Patrick Mullen. And if they can convert not only in the ground game, but on through the air in the pass game as well, this could be a long night for this Conway defense, which we already saw get exposed on that last drive.
Yeah. There is a player on the field.
Please come to the press box.
So that is the reason for the delay. Minute 37 left to go in the first quarter. Obviously, like we talked about during the pregame show, it's a rivalry game, so you can't really take the records at face value. But it being only 7-0 as we head towards the end of the first quarter, I'm surprised.
I would say I'm surprised as well. I know we were talking about a pregame if Fox is going to get pulled before the second half or not.
Yeah.
Now that's a major question.
Yeah.
1:32 remaining here in the first quarter. 1:37, my apologies.
Yeah.
And the Panthers are up 7-0. Again, that's it. It sort of draws that question unless we see another breakaway run here. And with this offense, it's very possible to get into the end zone again before the end of this quarter. But I agree with you. I would expect to see that score inflated a little bit compared to what it is right now in the current state.
The Jameer Isom, the injured player, is able to come off the field on his own, and we are set to get this game underway once again. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Actually, 2 wide on the far side. They'll run the jet sweep with Cole. Cole tries to break around the edge, but he gets tripped up after a gain of 2. And they'll bring up a second and 8.
And although they fit up very, very well on that jet sweep, that is something that they love. Caden Cole, a very, very fast junior, very fast in track, runs the 100, the 200, and you see just like that. It's just like coming around that curve on that 200, getting that jet sweep handoff, taking the curve. They read it well, they played up well, and they stopped him only for a gain of 2. But if that's something they can get going later down the line, that's a very dangerous play for this Panthers offense.
Second and 8, ball on the 45-yard line. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Hands off to Fox, and this time he's able to break through, but the second level is there to take him down right around the line to gain, and they're going to say he just got enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. Ball on the Conway 48-yard line.
And that's just a very impressive run. Just when you think you have him wrapped up in the backfield, he bounces off a sure tackler and is able to fit up for 8 more yards, moving the chains, granting the Panthers their 6th first down of this quarter. And just already we see the early running from Jerry Fox.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Snap. Fox tries to find a lane, and again the second level right there to take him down after a gain of 4. Jaden Stubbs there to make the tackle. And now Fox is getting past that defensive front, getting to the second level, but not quite able to get beyond it, as that will end the first quarter. A shocker here in Carolina Forest. It is only 7-0 Panthers. We have a defensive battle on our hands here at Panther Stadium. We'll take a quick break. Come right back for the second quarter here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Start of the second quarter about to commence with the Panthers up on Conway 7-0. And I know that the one drive that they scored the touchdown, it seemed like they were getting the running game going, but it seemed like what was working was the two running back set, but now it seems like Mark Morris has gone away from it. Would you go back to that?
I think we're just sort of, you don't want to give them everything early on, so I think that dual back set is sort of, obviously we know we see success with it, so just pull it out when necessary. When you want to use it, you have a big play there, you want your best play call. You don't just want to surface level it and sort of just give them a read on it every play. So I think we'll see that dual back set come back and appear in multiple different offensive drives, but for now, Jaron Fox, he's been sort of churning a little bit in that single back set, and I think that's really what they're trying to get established right for.
A little delay with the officials looking at something along the Carolina Forest sideline, and now looks like they might be ready to get things underway again. Refs are getting into position, and now the second quarter will get underway. Panthers with the ball on the Conway 43-yard line. Shotgun set, two wide on the near side. Throwing on the first play from scrimmage on the second quarter, and it's almost intercepted.
Great coverage there by Conway. Looking for Raheem Frazier, that deep shot we know is successful last week against Myrtle Beach. We know Patrick Mullen starting off here in region play, sort of throwing the ball more, shifting to a bounce more look, and they go right back to the air, a deep ball they wanted. Raheem Frazier just couldn't land it.
Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes a snap, speed option, pitches it out to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane, and he'll get the first down. Actually, that will be Fox. I thought for a second it was Livingston, but it is Fox. And he'll get another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, bringing it down to the 32-yard line.
And again, we see the single back set. He just sort of looks a little more comfortable every time he touches the ball.
There is a flag, however, and it looks like they're going to march it back. I think this is going to be a holding on the Panthers. And it's going to be an illegal block in the back on Carolina Forest. So that'll push the Panthers back to the Conway 49-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and 12. Shotgun set, two wide on either side for Carolina Forest. Mullen looking over to the sideline to Mark Morris to get a play call.
And now, 3rd down. They love going to the air. Do you think we go to the air here on 3rd and 12?
Especially with the 3rd and long, yes. Snap, and they will throw it. 5-step drop. They'll go screen pass to Fox. Fox has a lane, and he's got one man to beat, and he's gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown Panthers!
And that is just, you cannot coach that. You cannot draw that up any better than just getting the ball in the hands of your playmakers. You know your line is very, very stout, very strong, and you just allow him to run behind that, especially on a pass. 3rd and 12, you're backed up behind those chains. You give it to your playmaker. We saw him do it last week, and he takes another screen pass to the house, this time 49 yards.
Jaron Fox, not just on the run game, but in the passing game on the screen passes, taking it to the house and showing off his speed. It's just, as soon as Fox gets into space, he has a chance to take it to the house. As Keon John puts it into the field goal for the extra point. And with 11:21 left to go in the half, it is 14-0 Panthers. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. That's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers finally starting to get something going offensively, and Jaron Fox looking like he's starting to heat up here in the second quarter with the Panthers extending their lead. 14-0 with 11:21 left to go in the half. And that is the Jaron Fox we expect to see.
That's exactly right. Jaron Fox is just explosive. Anytime he gets the ball, it can be on the ground, it can be through the air. He can do it all. He is just a playmaker. He is an elite back, and he is a guy that you can just trust, especially in dire situations. 3rd and 12, deep behind the chains. You give him the ball, you allow him to make a play, and he shows you why.
For a second, I thought they were going to go for an onside kick, but just a little pooch kick that's fielded at the 28-yard line, trying to bring in near side from the far side sideline, but a good job by the Panther defense keeping the return at bay. Good job by Carson Quantz getting down. Both Carson Quant and Jaden Stubbs Carson Quant and Jalen Weinglass coming in to get the tackle and just containing that return. Shotgun set. 2 wide on the far side. Snap. Hands the ball off. Trying to find a lane. Oh, no. Read option. Keeping himself his leg, and he will be wrapped up for a loss of 1. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Good read option. It fooled me, but it didn't fool the Carolina Forest defense at all.
That's exactly right. There's being stout to it, playing great run defense is what we've seen this in the region play. These Panthers just fit up so well against any other back in the region, and their run game has just been super, super efficient on defense.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Leg calling out a play. Takes a snap. Hands it off. Trying to find a lane, but nowhere to go. We'll get a gain of 2. Chris Quick on the carry. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 9.
And again, they go right back to the ground, and they don't find any success. Moving it just beyond the original line of scrimmage to make it a 3rd and 9. And we know with the arm, they're going to go to the air here. 3rd and 9, obviously, you want to see the secondary play, fit up. They've done well so far through the air. Now see what we can do on a 3rd and 9.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Leg looking over to the sideline for a play call. Takes a snap, 3-step drop, pressure coming. Leg has to step up into the pocket, and he takes it himself, and he'll get close to the first down marker. He should have just enough for a Conway first down. They'll mark him down at the 41, right at the 40-yard line, but it will just be enough by a yard for a Conway first down.
That's right. He needed 8. He got 9 on the ground, and he took a hit.
Snap. Hands it off. trying to get the running game going. Hands off to Brantley, but he'll only get a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7. Carson Kwan coming up from the secondary to make that tackle.
And you can see the energy in this defense. They are coming up, they are fitting this run very, very well, and they are hitting hard.
Snap, hands it off, trying to, oh no, keeping himself and trying to throw it on the play action pass, but it's incomplete, almost intercepted by Charles McCray, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
And another great play by the secondary there of the Panthers. So far, we've seen them be able to hold up on both fronts, this run game and this pass game on defense, and that's exactly what you want to see. Not too many struggles on defense here tonight for the Panthers.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side for Conway. Leg calling out a play. Takes the snap. He'll throw it and throws it to the far side sideline, and it is incomplete. Overthrowing his intended target, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And running with him on the far sideline, Ethan Gardner, a guy that's been doing this all season, just been matching up very, very well with any receiver he's been assigned to, running stride for stride, never letting them get the advantage, hand on the hip. He's playing textbook coverage all season, and he's been having himself a great season senior year.
The MVP for the Panthers thus far, especially on defense, has been the secondary.
And that's exactly what you want to see, your weakest link going in, really showing up and showing why they want to establish themselves.
High punt caught at the 23-yard line, trying to get around the corner and being pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line is Carson Quant. And that's where the Panthers will start on offense, trying to extend this 14-point lead with just under 9 minutes left to go in the half.
And right here, if you can go right back to your run game and be successful, get this ball in the end zone, you have a 3-score lead and your run game accounting for all 3 of those scores. Technically 1 through the air, but to Jaron Fox.
Yeah.
And that's what you expect coming into this game. Your run game being stout and you going up a couple scores against this Conway Tigers team.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side for Carolina Forest. Chris Livingston in the backfield with Patrick Mullen. Snap, hands off to Livingston. Livingston tries to find a lane, but nowhere to go. He will push forward to get a gain of 3 and actually make that 2, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
And now they give the ball to a physical Chris Livingston. We see what Jaron Fox can do. We know he just had a big play through the air. Now you're sort of giving that workload to Chris Livingston, see what he can do through the ground, try to get him established. And we know that when this carousel of running backs gets going, it gets going. And they produce big numbers week after week in this region play, and that's exactly what they're trying to establish.
Livingston still out there. Play action pass. Mullen is under pressure, tries to dump it off on a screen pass. It is completed to Joe Ober for the catch, and he'll get a gain of, they'll say 3, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Ball's on the 47-yard line.
Make it a 3rd and 3 from the 47-yard line. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snap. Hands it off to Livingston. Livingston finds a lane. He's got a 1st down and more. He's got 1 man to beat. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Panthers. Chris Livingston with a touchdown of his own.
And this one, a 53-yard burst. He found that hole. We talk so much about top speed and acceleration, getting to that 2nd level. He shows his ability to do just that right there. A huge touchdown run, and just like we mentioned, a huge rushing touchdown would make it 3 for that running back game, and you'd give you a 3-score lead. They do just that. They stick on the ground, and this game is now officially in the Panthers' hands, and they're running with it.
And you just see how dynamic this running game is when it's hot. Chris Livingston, the power back, using his power to find the lane, But then once he gets to the second level, he also has some speed. He's able to take it past the secondary and just outrun the defenders.
That's exactly right. That's what makes this running back room so scary, is not only are they all super fast, they can all run through you as well. If they don't go around you, they can go through you. There's many ways that this running back room can get your number.
The extra point by Jan is up and good, and with 7:20 left to go in the half, Panthers finally now starting to pull away 21-0 here in the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Panther defense trying to continue this hot start, this hot first half for Carolina Forest. It'll be a short kick from Jan, taken at around the 30-yard line, but a good job by the Panthers making sure that Conway had nowhere to go.
And now, for Conway, we mentioned so much about CF and getting that offense going and everything. Going up 3 scores after a huge rushing touchdown, Chris Livingston. Conway is in a hole, a 3-score hole to be exact. And if they want any living chance at this game, you got to imagine this drive is a huge one.
Gabe Williams on the return on that Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside kickoff. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side for Conway. High snap, looking for the screen pass again. Again, the secondary is there, but this time a good job by Chris Quick avoiding the initial tackle and able to get out into space and get a first down. Actually, they'll mark him just short of the line to gain. Oh, no, never mind. They had second down on the dial-a-down at first, but then they say he just got enough for the first down, and that'll be a first down for Conway.
And we see no fear in them going right back to their screen passes. A rare missed tackle there from Jelani Alasia in the screen game, and that's one that he wants back.
High snap, another screen pass, and this time it's Gardner that's right there to push him out of bounds. That was Jordan Jenkins on the catch. He is able to get a gain of 2, but definitely not enough for what Conway wants to do on that play.
And for me, this offensive play calling has drawn a lot of questions. Is it the fact that you trust your screen game and you know, sort of like the Carolina Forest Panthers are with their run game, you just keep going back to wait for one to break off, or is it you really don't have any more dimensions to go with this offense? A big question.
They'll go with a handoff on this play, and pushing forward through the line is Brantley. Anthony Cunningham on the tackle. There is a flag, however, so we'll wait to see what the call is on this flag. I think it's more of, because like I mentioned, I was talking to the Conway broadcasters before the game, and they were saying that the wide receiver's hands aren't very good. So it may be a situation of they're just trying to get them into positions where they can catch the ball.
That's exactly right, and it could also be what we've seen very early on for the Tigers. We just saw it on this play right here is the holding penalties. Anytime they try to put the ball on the ground, it seems as if one of their O-linemen isn't disciplined enough to just make the sure block, and they sort of have to grab at those pads, and that's the reason Conway's racking up so many holding penalties to call off this game.
Surprising, even though it was a running play, the ref indicated pass interference, so I'm not sure what the call was on that one. I'm assuming it was a holding, but either way, they'll hand it off to Quick, and he'll get a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6 for Conway from their own 44-yard line.
And right here, again, if you can get this offense off the field and draw another 3 and out, the momentum is super, super high for your defense. and your offense all around, who's coming off 3 straight touchdown drives. This is huge for momentum here for the Panthers.
Looks like Conway decided to call a timeout with 6:16 left to go in the half. 21-0 Panthers lead it. And we'll take a quick break. Come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood with Tony McAfee. It's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
6:16 left to go in the first half, with the Panthers leading it 21-0. Not quite the utter domination that we expected going into this one, but still a solid game for the Panthers, a solid lead, and you know, it may actually be kind of a good thing, because we might see more Jaron Fox in the second half, and we might be able to get a little more as a result.
You're exactly right. We might have a very rare occurrence of Jaron Fox in the second half, something we got to witness last week against Myrtle Beach. And for a second straight week, that would just be a pleasant surprise.
It'll be 3rd and 7. Ball on the 44-yard line. Shotgun set. 2 wide on the near side. Snap. Hands off. Trying to find a lane, and a great open field tackle on Quick. Absolutely railroaded was Carson Kwan getting the tackle on Quick, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
And for the Panthers defense, for me, that's been the whole story of the night so far. It's just that physicality.
And that the secondary being able to very quickly analyze the play. As they're going to go for it on 4th down, they'll hand it off to Quick again, and he might have just gotten enough. And they are going to say he just got enough for a Myrtle Beach 1st down. That was actually Brantley on the carry, Cunningham on the tackle. But like I was saying, the fact that the secondary can read what's going to happen, read what leg is doing, and decipher, okay, is he going to run or pass, and being able to determine where they need to go very quickly has been the key to this game, as this time Leg tries to throw it out. Tried to get it out to Jenkins this time, but it is incomplete. Good defense by Alicia out there on the far side. And that'll bring up a 2nd down.
In the secondary, we mentioned that they have been the pleasant surprise of the night. We had so many questions going into the season, so many questions going into tonight alone about how they're going to match up for this offense. And so far, they're bringing it. They're matching up. They're playing great defense, and they're not giving Conway anything.
Looks like they're moving it forward for something. It might have been a pass interference on Carolina Forest.
And right there, if that is the call, I heavily disagree. I do not like the call. I feel like that ball was very uncatchable. It was way over the head of the receiver, way over the head of the DB. There's no one inside of that ball. So if that is a pass interference, I just can't get behind it.
Waiting for an official call. I didn't see one. Now the ref is coming our way to make the call. Huh? He's pointing towards the press box, towards the scorers. And no call. I didn't see any indication. I'm assuming it was a pass interference, but there was no official hand signal. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Triple option. What a spin move by Quick, getting out into space, and he's able to get a gain of, they'll say he got 6, but a devastating spin move. A college football 25-esque spin move by Quick to avoid a tackle. And a decent gain for Chris Quick. They'll go to Quick again. This time tries to use his power, but this time a prowl of Panthers is able to take him down. After a gain of 3, The ball did come loose, but the Tigers are able to fall on it. And they'll bring up 3rd and 1.
And again, we just see the physicality fitting up, head on a ball, jarring that one loose. Conway lucky to jump back on that one and recover it. But it's been a story of hard hits tonight.
Hands off to Quick again. Quick this time trying to use his power, but a prowl of Panthers right there to take him down. But he is able to get just enough for another Conway first down. They'll say he got 2 on the carry. So he'll bring up a 1st and 10. Ball on the 27-yard line. Shotgun set. 2 wide on the near side. Snap. Hands off to this time to Mike Williams. And he is able to push forward for a gain of 3. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 7.
And this defense being able to fit up with this run, especially with the Tigers sort of moving the ball, taking time off the clock near in the half on this drive. You're trying to get them off the field. And this will be a testimony here of how physical and how they match up on this defensive front.
2nd and 8, ball on the 25-yard line. Play action pass, rolling out to his right. Leg trying to use his legs to get the first down before getting pushed out of bounds at around the 19-yard line. Again, Charles McCray coming up from that free safety position, being able to read what Leg was doing and making the tackle just short of the first down marker, and that will bring up a 3rd and 2 for Conway. Another, looks like Leg might be down along the sideline, so that will be a tough blow for Conway.
And it's just truly unfortunate sighting anytime you see something like this. Player down, you never want to see it, especially if it's your quarterback. But again, an unfortunate situation here for the Tigers, and you just got to hope it's nothing serious here on the sideline.
Yeah, it didn't look like a huge hit by McCray, just kind of corralled him out of bounds, if you will, but we'll wait and see. He is able to get up on his own and walk off. So we'll see backup Makai Canty more than likely come into the game for the Tigers.
We would like to thank Pepsi-Cola, celebrating 126 years this year.
And obviously, that's a huge loss for the Tigers. Anytime you see your starting quarterback go down, it's never a good sign. You hold your breath. It was very, very quiet here. Even with it being a home game for the Panthers, very quiet when Leg went down, and you just hope for the best.
Yeah, you never want to see that at any level. And actually, it will be number 17, Javon Smalls, coming in at quarterback. Pistol set. They'll hand it off, trying to get to the corner, but a good job by the Panthers keeping Brantley from getting anywhere. Loss of 1 for Jaquan Brantley. McCray again on the tackle, and that'll bring up a 4th and 4.
And this is going to be interesting. 4th and 4 with the quarterback that has just been put into the game. You got to imagine you have to go through the air here on 4th and 4 the way this Panthers defense has been fitting up to the run. A very interesting call and a big play here for the Tigers. Down 3 scores.
And a quarterback who wasn't even listed as a potential quarterback backup on the depth chart, as Conway takes the timeout with 2:43 left to go in the half. We'll take one with them here on the Carolina Force Panther Football Network.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
2:43 left to go in the first half with the Panthers up 21-0. And do you expect they were ready to go for it there on fourth down? Do you think they'll go for it on this play?
I think they will. I see the offense is right back on the field, and interesting for me, there is no back in that backfield.
This may be a design quarterback sneak because Smalls is listed as a wide receiver on the depth chart. Empty back. No, he's going to pass it. Throws it out, and it's intercepted by the Panthers. Trying to break it around the sideline. Still on his feet before getting pushed out of bounds in Conway territory. There are flags on the field. Brody Bailey with the interception. And I thought there were flags because there were whistles being blown, but they were just blowing because they marked him out of bounds at the 46-yard line of Conway. So a big play on fourth down for Carolina Forest as Brody Bailey comes into the game and gets a big pick and gives the Panthers prime real estate to start off their next drive.
And for a safety in Brody Bailey, who's already been having a great game. 2 tackles, we see him fit up and make some big plays, some big hits there against these Conway Tigers. Comes up and gets a great interception off a deflection and brings it all the way into Conway territory.
Low snap, a little short hitch patch to Hayden Souls for a gain of, they'll say he got 7. Actually, make that 8, and it'll be a 2nd and 2. Just over 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off to Livingston. Actually, that will be Higgins who gets the carry, and that'll be enough for Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down.
And they have just been moving the ball on the ground. Javier Higgins, another back that's able to just get it done on the ground game and gain a 6 there to move it even deeper into Conway territory. And for the Panthers, whose weak point all season has been the secondary, an interception and a huge return like that for Brody Bailey just gives this defense so much more momentum.
Shotgun set, one wide on the other side. Play action pass lofted into the air, trying to get it to Quavon Ward, but just a little overthrown. And that'll be an incomplete pass with 1:27 left to go in the half. Kind of surprising. It probably was overthrown. I don't think Ward really had a chance, but there was a lot of hand fighting between him and his defender, Tremaine Hunter, and that could have been a pass interference.
That's right. That's one of those that could go either way. Really, ref's decision on the field. They didn't see enough to call it, so they kept it in their pocket. Could have really gone either way.
Snap, jet sweep, handoff, trying to bounce around the edge, still on his feet, and finally getting pushed out of bounds. Caden Cole, another jet sweep carry, and he'll get taken down after a gain of 7, making it a 3rd and 3 with 1:18 left to go in the first half. With him being pushed out of bounds, that will stop the clock. Panthers have all 3 timeouts remaining. Shotgun set, one wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, hands it off. Livingston tries to find a lane and will get the first down and more. Actually, that'll be Javier Higgins this time again, getting the carry. Another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. He'll get taken down at the 10-yard line Panthers will let the clock run with them being so close to the end zone. Higgins still out there as the running back. One wide on either side. Hands off to Higgins again. Higgins just tries to use his power and gets taken down at the 3-yard line. Make that the 2-yard line, and that'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 2. 45 seconds remaining in the half.
And now we're just seeing this run game get to the point that they are used to all region play. They are in control of this game. This run game controls everything. It all goes through this run game exactly how the Panthers want to set it up.
Hand it off to Higgins, and he'll just walk into the end zone for the touchdown with less than half a minute left to go in the first half. 4 touchdowns, 3 running backs responsible for them.
That's exactly how the Panthers want to play this game. That's how they want to play all season. That's the game plan right there. And this far in region play, they just have been doing such a beautiful job at opening it up and getting it established. Every single game we have seen it, and that's the reason for the success in this region and the undefeated record up to this point.
The crazy thing about it is that this is now the 2nd game that every running back has been getting involved in the end zone.
That's right. And that's
Might this be another game like the St. James game where we see all 4 backs get more than 1 touchdown?
I wouldn't doubt it. With the way that they're cycling through them, rotating this carousel and just spinning them out, letting them run, and they are having so much success, all 3 backs, absolutely. I think this could be a tale of just cycling.
Yeah.
Now it's Jaron Fox's
Because we
turn to
haven't
score.
seen Tristan Green yet either, so he usually comes in during garbage time, but, you know, it's getting close to that point.
That's exactly right. He might be the next running back off of that carousel. We've seen all 3 step off. Now it's Tristan Green's turn. Or it could just rotate right back to Jaron Fox and start that whole shenanigans all over again.
The kick by Jan is up, and it will go out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Keon Jan hit the extra point, by the way, so it is now 28-0.
And for the Tigers, just 27 seconds to work this half, especially with the way that their last offensive drive ended. You got to think they're just taking a knee instead of this went to the half. You do not want to risk a near pick 6 for Brody Bailey on that last drive. You do not want any replica of that at all.
And, yeah, it looks like they're just going to set up for the kneel down. Or not. Never mind. Shotgun set. 2 wide on the far side. Snap. Hands it off. Trying to find a lane and nowhere to go as Brantley gets pulled down by Charles McCray in the backfield for a loss of, well, yeah, they're going to mark him way back. They're going to say it's a loss of 7. And I'll bring up a 2nd and 17, and that will end the first half.
And that's a beautiful way to end it. Charles McCray's 2nd tackle for loss of the game. He has been flying around in that secondary.
So we head to halftime with the score 28-0. Panthers in control of this one. We'll take a quick break and come back with some first half stats and analysis and a few other things. Get you ready for the second half here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee right here in Carolina Forest can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium here for homecoming as the Panthers are up big in the Battle of 501 against Conway, 28-0. We'll go around the region real quick. Obviously, the Panthers have their destiny in their own hands, currently tied for the region title with North Myrtle Beach and up on the overall record. Carolina Forest at 3-0, as is North Myrtle Beach. Carolina Forest overall record 4-3-1. North Myrtle Beach 3-4. Myrtle Beach at 2-1, 4-4 overall. Socastee 1-2, 3-5 overall. And both Conway and St. James have yet to win a region game. Conway at 0-3, 1-7 overall. St. James not winning a game, period, all season. 0-3 in the region, 0-8 overall, as this is the second to last week of the regular season here in South Carolina. This week, North Myrtle, this is rivalry week this week. The Battle of the Beaches, North Myrtle Beach versus Myrtle Beach right now. It is scoreless at the half. North Myrtle Beach versus Myrtle Beach at the Hank. It is scoreless. That is an insane score. I was not expecting that. And that may be something that, of a pretense to come for next week. And on the other end, for Socastee and St. James, Socastee is currently leading St. James by a score of 17-0 at the half. So not really all that surprising there either, as it will more than likely be I think we can pretty much assume the finish of each game of the region thus far. Obviously, depending upon what happens between Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, Carolina Forest, as long as they play the way they need to next week, they will win the region next week. Whoever wins that game tonight between Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach will more than likely be second. Socastee will probably be fourth, and then Conway and St. James pretty much fighting for who will be out of the playoffs next week, as they'll bring in Brogan Hillman, and Brogan scoreless in Myrtle Beach versus North Myrtle Beach.
Insane. That's insane.
Now, what does that mean? Does that mean both Carolina Forest and Myrtle Beach had such dynamic offenses that the defenses couldn't keep up? Or what does that tell you about what we might expect next week?
I believe that means we know Myrtle Beach's offense was super balanced. That was the thing about them. Their ability to keep it on the ground, run with their dynamic back. They have a very good running back room in themselves, and also their ability to throw it out. We know that air raid game was very, very good. They were looking downfield all game. I believe that shows you that North Myrtle's defense was really adjusted and ready for that offense. They prepared so much for that air raid offense. They were ready. That secondary's going out and playing a great game, and it's scoreless. I think it's a very defensive battle. We know the Seahawks also have a very strong defense. Jaron Fox gave them a very bad night the other night. And I think they're hungry. They're fitting up, and they're stopping North Myrtle's offense. I think it's just a tale of both sides of preparation, coming out, fitting up against each other, and they're just stalling out. They keep every drive going head-to-head, trying to look for something, and they can't find anything. No one finding the end zone, and I just believe that maybe that means CF, with their run game against North Myrtle's air raid defense, could be able to find some gaps and run all over them.
Yeah, that could be the case. And next week might be a very interesting week in Region 6-5A, because if North Myrtle Beach is able to win tonight, that would mean that North Myrtle Beach against Carolina Forest would be 2-0 against 2, or 3-0, or 4-0 against 4-0. So that would be, the definitive who wins the region. Myrtle Beach against Socastee would both be 2-2 to determine the 3 and 4 seed. And then St. James at Conway would both be winless in the region to determine who gets left out of the playoffs.
It would all be in the hands of their own fate.
Synchronicity.
That's exactly right. That would be a very fun week to look at.
That would be a very fun final week of the season.
Storylines all over the place.
Agreed. So we'll go, before we get to stats for this game, we'll go next level real quick. Conway, they've had their history, but of recent years haven't done much, haven't been nearly as good as they have been about a decade ago or so. But still have a couple of players at the next level, primarily in the NFL from when they were good. Currently, Jabravion Woodard from a couple of years back at the Citadel, Nathan Thompson from a couple of years ago at Coastal, Cameron Alston also from a couple of years ago at Dartmouth, and Tonka Hemingway, the fifth-year senior at South Carolina, who he might go to the NFL as well if he continues playing as well as he has with the Gamecocks. And in the NFL, Gunnar Brennan with the Bills, Raekwon O'Neal with the Seahawks, and Darren Granger in the CFL with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So obviously the Tigers have a lot of history and, trying to get back to where they want to be, but thus far not getting there.
That's right. A team with a ton of history. This was a huge rivalry match back in the day. When you're going back at it, almost two powerhouse high school programs. It was so entertaining every time you played. And it was something these fans look forward to, and it's something that still carries over. Like you mentioned, Conway's been in a little bit of a slump in recent years, but this matchup is still just an anticipated one.
Oh, definitely.
We know CF has obviously had the number, winning 5 of those last 6 matchups, but it's still a matchup that both fans look forward to. and especially both players looking forward to.
Let's get to some stats for the first half, shall we?
We shall. And it's a story that we have heard before, over and over and over again.
Jaron Fox.
Not
quite.
Not Jaron Fox.
Not as much as last week.
Tonight, for me, it's been Chris Livingston and those 2 big rushes he's been able to break off. A 60-yarder all the way when the Panthers were backed up on their own 7-yard line, moving all the way up to the 43.
Yep.
And then the other one, 53-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah.
Just breaking through the secondary, getting to the next level, and taking it all the way. An electric house call, and that really gave the Panthers this edge, made it 21-0, and really sort of put this game on a higher shelf, making it way harder for the Tigers to obtain. And this run game has just been so, so good. We see it not only on the ground, through the air. Jaron Fox catches a screen pass, takes it 40-something yards to the house. It's just this big play offense, this big play capability for the Panthers. Every time they step their foot on the gas, it's just look out. Someone's coming downfield, someone's flying, someone's hitting an open hole, someone's taking off in the secondary. Before you know it, these Panthers strike faster than any offense in the county, in the region, and that's just the reason they've been able to put themselves in such great positions heading down the stretch. And it's a story of the same tonight, up 28-0 at halftime because of these big explosive plays.
So what are the full numbers for each of the 3 big backs thus far?
The full numbers, Chris Livingston on only 3 carries, 115 yards.
Pats.
How about that?
Over 30 yards per carry.
It's just insane there. Chris Livingston has been a workhorse when he touches his ball. He's explosive. He hasn't done it often this game, but every time he's had that ball in his hands, look out. He's making to make something happen, a big play. Chris Livingston has just been all over the place. Then moving down to Jaron Fox on 9 carries, their workload. We know he gets majority of the run touches. 43 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 through the air. Moving on to Javier Higgins, 4 touches for 31 yards and a touchdown. This run game, again, accounted for 4 touchdowns, has been the workloads, the bread and butter. We've known this since forever with this Mark Morris offense. It's been the run game, and they are showing it on full display tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, and the crazy thing about it is it's the running game. Yes, technically it's the running backs, but even being able to get that screen game going as well, accumulating 1 touchdown through the screen game as well, a much more well-balanced offense this season, and it's been fun to watch with how this Mark Morris offense has evolved over the years. So first, let me get some keys for the second half, and then I have some prediction questions.
Okay, so the keys for the second half for me are just you had the momentum, you rode it in the halftime, you made a big play going into the half. Charles McCray, his second tackle for loss of the game. It's just keeping that momentum, being able to keep your foot on the gas, not stalling up, not letting up. Just keep doing your thing, keep playing your brand of football, and keep doing what you do. Do not let Conway get back into this game. Slam that door shut early, keep it shut, and just close out this game. Head into next week, a huge implication matchup against North Myrtle.
Yeah. So, question time. First, does this game, first off, how long, because, yes, it's only a 4-possession lead, but you'd have to imagine how long do we see the likes of Jaron Fox, and might we see Cameron Long, come in at a point?
I think obviously the Panthers, not sure if they deferred or if the Tigers wanted the ball to start off.
Yeah, but either way, they get the ball to start off the second
Exactly
half.
right. Either way, the Panthers are starting off on offense. If they are able to convert a touchdown on that opening drive, and then you go back to defense, you flip sides of the ball, and you're able to get a stop, I believe that next offensive possession coming up, we're not seeing any starters. That's Cameron Long, Tristan Green territory. Maybe Javier Higgins stays in the game for a little bit. We'll see very talented guys. Maybe Caden Cole stays on the field and gets his workload as the wide receiver 1. You allow Nixon Cone, another outside receiver that we've been pleasantly surprised with throughout this whole course of the season. You see him on the field as well. And you do what you've been doing in garbage time And that's just gaining these guys experience. We see Cam Long come out. They let him throw the ball. Every time he comes out, it seems like he's going 4 for 5, 5 for 6 on these drives, and he's just moving it downfield, making great plays. I believe that we will see just one more offensive drive, barring a touchdown on it, for these starters, get a good defensive stop, and then from there on out, it's all these backup guys. Let them get in and get experience.
So now, especially considering your answer for that question, 2 more questions, they're kind of similar. Does this game get a running clock? And does this game get into the record books?
I do believe that we will see a running clock. This whole season, everyone's just managed to find a way to
avoid it by
the record
inches,
book.
yeah. Except for St. James.
That's exactly right. St. James got the number. But they've just been doing such a great job at being able to just get right at that number, creep towards it, do what they need to do in garbage time to take themselves off that list. It's sort of like they know. They always get right to that mark. They tease it a little bit, and then they just never fully get into those record books. I don't think we'll see the record book, but I believe that nearing the end of the third quarter, we'll see that running clock sort of come into play.
As we are just a few minutes away from the start of the second half here at Panther Stadium on homecoming. A decent crowd. I mean, considering it's a rivalry game, I mean, I know Conway, they haven't exactly had the best season, winning a grand total of 1 game. And even that, well, they have a second game that was a loss, but is now considered a win on their record book due to forfeit because of the issues with Marlboro County. But 1 official win. But I know that they haven't had the best season exactly, but only about, maybe 2/3 full on the visitor side?
Yeah, it's not, especially for being the Battle of 501, not being too far, just down the same little
15,
highway right
20
there.
minutes to get here?
Yeah, it's not too bad of a drive at all. Like we mentioned way earlier in the broadcast, our crowd traveling to Myrtle Beach, it was a very sizable crowd for that travel, and Conway just didn't seem like they made too much of the trip.
Carolina Forest fans love traveling. They have traveled for playoff games down to Goose Creek, down to Fort Dorchester, down to Somerville, even for regular season games, down to Oceanside. The Panther fans travel, and obviously this is a home game, so it's a lot easier. The home side is packed tonight.
That's right.
Which is to be expected with it being a home game, or with it being homecoming, rather.
And with these Panthers fans traveling, they do. I was one at one point traveling. I know, going up to see my brothers play in the playoff games, Charleston, everything like that. And it's fun. It's fun. I love traveling.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you made some of those trips to Goose Creek and to
we made all of them. We love them.
Fort Dorchester, those long trips down to Charleston.
That's right. Just start off, get Starbucks early on in the trip, and you're good to roll.
And depending upon how the bracket works, we'll have more information on this next week, obviously, and give you the previews of what might be depending upon the rankings and everything. But looking at the rankings, even if the Panthers win the region, it's based off of the Max Preps, essentially their RPI. So they may start on the road. I'm not sure. I have to look at the bracket and everything. But it would be interesting. They may start on the road in the playoffs.
Definitely the alignment and all the shifts that we've seen in high school football this offseason, it's going to make for a very interesting scenario. We're not going to be 100% sure going into it until the week of.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a very interesting situation. It's going to be fun, but at the same time, it's going to be a little, do we get that home playoff game? It's going to be a little bit of on your seat as well. Not so fun aspect to it.
So Conway comes out on the field to get ready to kick it off to start the second half. Panthers will receive the second half kickoff. Brantley Hall puts the ball on the tee. And we are just about to get the second half underway. All taking a little while. And the second half is underway. Long kick, fielded and bobbled at the 6-yard line, but able to recover. But the bobble results in the Panthers having to start deep in their own territory.
Number 24,
Tristan Green getting taken down at the 18-yard line, and that's where the Panthers will start on offense.
Yeah, like you mentioned, bobble to start off on the kickoff is going to drive them back into their own territory a little bit, and it's definitely going to cost them. Now you got to expect just right back to the run game, pick up where you left off, and just let your guys get going.
No Jaron Fox to start off, or Chris Livingston to start off the second half. They will have Javier Higgins come out to start the half. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen motions over from far side to near side. Snap. Play action pass, throw to the near side. It's caught, and trying to break a tackle is Ward, but he'll get pulled down after a gain of 11. And that'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm. Carolina Forest first down, getting taken down at the 30-yard line is Ward.
And instantly start off. You start off on the ground, then you go right to Ward, your big target. He makes a play, finally gets involved, his first reception of the night. In this pass game, it's going to be interesting to see if you go to that. Do you rely on your run game? So many elements to this offense.
Speed option, pitches it out. Trying to find a lane is Higgins, and he will get wrapped up after a gain of 14. And that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down, bringing it out to the 44-yard line.
And again, 2 plays, 2 first downs, moving the ball efficiently to start off the second half. And there's just no quit with this running back room. Whoever you give the ball to, you expect results, and they're doing just that.
Snap, screen pass out to the far side. It's caught, trying to find a lane and getting the first down and more, taking it into Conway territory. And whistles are blown. Caden Cole on that screen pass catch. And I believe there is a flag. Yes, there is, so we'll wait to see what the call is, and the Panthers are marching backwards, so pretty sure this is going to be a flag on the Panthers.
And that's just a killer penalty. You've had 2 big plays. A third one, just drawing it back, kills the momentum a little bit. You can't really get your offense going, getting on the field, and just run what you want to at an efficient rate. It's going to draw the Panthers way back beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it'll be a holding on the Panthers, so that'll be a 4-yard backtrack for the Panthers and make it a first and 14. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side for the Panthers on first and 14. And now for the first time in the second half, we do see Jaron Fox come out on the field for this first and long. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, hands off to Fox. Fox tries to find a lane, but nowhere to go. He gets wrapped up after a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Good tackle by Lou Augusta, keeping Fox from getting to the second level.
And for me, the thing I see on that play that really sticks out is even with Fox being tackled in the backfield after a gain of just 3, that O-line is still moving forward, and they're still looking for work even after that play is dead. There's just no quit in this O-line.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, 1-step drop, looking near side, and it is caught by Quavon Ward, and he will get enough for a first down and more. That'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Flores first down, and before he gets taken down at the Conway 45.
And that's 2 catches for Quavon Ward on this drive, good for 21 yards in total. Nice to see him get worked into this pass game a little bit. He's a very reliable target. He's been a great receiver overall this year for Patrick Mullen and one of his better guys on this offense.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Snap, play action pass. Now Mullen will step up into the pocket and take it himself before getting pulled down after a gain of 3.
Tackled by number 31, Gabe Williams. Pickup of 30.
That'll bring up a 2nd and 7 from the 42-yard line.
And here we're just seeing a very dynamic drive by the Panthers to start off this drive. Going to the air, on the ground. Everyone's touching the ball this drive, getting them all involved, stretching their game plan, opening this field up, and trying to blow this game out of the water to start off the second half.
Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Mullen takes the snap, play action pass, lofts it over to Ober, who makes the catch and gets pulled out of bounds, but not before the Panthers get just enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Flores first down.
And Joe Ober is someone that was not really incorporated into this offense up to tonight. His 2nd reception, good for 17 yards now for Joe Ober, and a first down. A very, very talented. Play him at tight end, at H-back. He's very physical, very strong there at H-back, and he's just showing you his ability to be able to make plays just like everybody else on this dynamic offense.
And the quintessential tight end play right there, just throwing it out into the flat and letting him do work. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen rolls out to his right and throws it on the run, but it's out of reach, trying to get it to Caden Cole.
And
Trayshawn Talley breaking up the pass attempt.
And they are showing no fear to go through the air here on this drive. Definitely seeing this ball push through the air more than ever this season. Really, this drive honing in, seeing what they can do, what they can't do through the air, seeing what works. Sort of just opening up their playbook and trying to run it all just to see what they have and what is working at its maximum efficiency.
Looks like there's a flag on the play. I think this is going to be a holding on Carolina Forest.
Ball's going against the Panthers.
And it will be.
Taking the ball back to the 45.
So that'll push it back to the 45-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 20 for the Panthers. And now you'd expect, especially with how they've been on this drive thus far anyway, this ball is definitely going into the air. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Mullen takes snap. No, he'll go speed option, pitches it out to Fox, and Fox had to kind of reach back to make the catch, and he is able to get 5 yards, but certainly would have liked to have gotten more. Actually, they're going to mark him out at the 42-yard line, so it'll only be a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 12.
And for there, it just
or
looks
2nd
like
and 17, excuse me.
they're on the short end of the field, running a little option play, looking for it to sideline. Not a lot of room to work with. Conway recognizes that the sideline as a defender is your best friend, and they utilize it to its full capability, just forcing Fox to go out, almost making sort of a catastrophic play there for that Panthers offense.
Cameron Long on the field now. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Low snap. Long rolls out to his right. Throws it on the run, and it's out of the reach of everyone. Incomplete. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 17.
And I love this decision right now to put Cam Long in the game. You're backed up way behind your chains. You're up big in this game. You're up 28-0 to start off this 3rd quarter. Put your young quarterback in a stressful situation and see what he's able to do. You have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Put him out there, let him play. See what he can do under pressure, way backed up, nearing territory.
3rd and 17, ball on the 42-yard line for the Panthers. Long looking over to the sideline for a play call. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. And whistles are blown. And I think the Panthers will decide to take a timeout with 8:18 left to go in the third quarter. We'll take one with them here on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. Well, that's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call when you want the real deal. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Panthers trying to extend their lead, currently up 28-0 on Conway. Looking to score yet again with some of the backups coming in now. Trying to get Cameron Long a little work.
That's exactly right. Putting Cameron Long in a very stressful situation. Backed up way beyond your chains, about a 3rd and 16 here. Just put him in, see what he can do in this situation. You're way backed up against your chains. You know you're likely going through the air. And just make him make a play. You want to see what your young guy has? Right here is your opportunity for Cameron Long to go make a play.
3rd and 17 for the Panthers. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Long takes the snap, 1-step drop, steps up into the pocket, now rolls out to his left under pressure, lofts it up, and it is incomplete. A bit of a dangerous throw there by Long. That ball was lofted up into the air, had a good bit of hang time, but luckily for Long, it sailed out over the sideline out of bounds. And that'll bring up a 4th and long, and the Panthers will be forced to punt it away.
That's right. Cameron Long, a very smart decision there. He knows he has nowhere to go, so he's just going to sort of head that one towards the sideline. No need to make an arid play and give Conway just even an ounce of breathing room. Say that ball gets picked off and returned the other way. Great, smart play there just to head that ball out of
Roman
bounds.
Fisher, a low punt. He'll take a Panther bounce, and a perfectly placed ball for Roman Fisher. It will be downed at the 1-yard line.
And that's exactly what you want to draw up when you are punting the football. Your goal is to just pin it against that as close as you can to the 1-yard line. Great job by Roman Fisher to roll that one down there. The Gunners to be able to get down there and just sit on it at the 1-yard line and put Conway in a very, very tough situation.
And now, especially with the receiving issues that Conway receivers have had tonight thus far, do you go for it and just send the house, try to get the safety right here?
I say, you know they're going to run the ball that far backed up, especially with those struggles. I think you do. You send a blitz, you see what you can do in the safety.
They are going to run it. They will be able to get a gain of 4 as Brantley is able to get a little bit of leeway, a little bit of space for the Conway offense. It'll be 2nd and 7 on the 5-yard line.
And now you sort of have a lot less stress if you're the Tigers. A lot more room to work with. You're not right back against the goal line. You have a little more breathing room, just what you needed.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off again. And this time the Panthers are able to corral Brantley for a loss of 1. And now it's 3rd and 8 from the 4.
And you're never going to guess who just made a tackle for the loss for the Panthers. It's Charles McCray.
Yep.
3rd tackle for loss of the game. He's been flying around, fitting up so well, especially in that backfield.
And from the free safety position, so he's coming up fast.
That's exactly right. A very, very fast guy. Low 40s in a 400 time, very fast track athlete. And he's showing just that, getting in the backfield and making plays tonight.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. Quick takes the snap, lofting it up, and it is incomplete. trying to get it to Rogers, but they will say he caught it out of bounds, and that will bring up 4th down with Conway pinned up against their own end zone.
And for the Panthers defense, that's an amazing stop. You know that they're not going to go for it backed up at their own 5-yard line. And that's exactly what the Conway Tigers need to do, is stay on the field, keep extending drives, go for it on 4th down. They just don't even have the opportunity on this drive. Panthers get them off the field, get the ball back, and they're going to have great field position to start off this next drive.
And again, kind of a similar question now. Do you send the house and just let this ball roll? They do send a decent amount of guys, but the Tigers and Auguste is able to get the punt off, but it's a very short punt. And the Panthers will take over on offense in prime field position. They're going to say the ball went out of bounds at the 37-yard line. So that's where the Panthers will take over on offense, trying to extend their 28-point lead with just a little over 6 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter.
And now for Cameron Long and this offense, they're set up in prime territory to go down, score, make it a 5-possession game, and just continue to extend this narrative, extend the lead, and just blow this game completely out of the water.
They'll go 2 running back set. They'll hand it off to Livingston, but Livingston has nowhere to go.
Number 25, Christopher Livingston.
As a couple of Tigers take him down. They will say he just got back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be a 2nd and 10.
And that for the Panthers could be a little bit of a generous spot. Looked like he was stopped there in the backfield.
Yeah.
Going to say he's able to push it right back to the line of scrimmage. Make it a 2nd and 10. 2nd and a little more manageable than it should have been.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the other side. This time they'll hand it off to Livingston again, and this time he is able to break through the first line and get to the 2nd level for a gain of 8. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
See that dual back set incorporated back into the game. Really was able to open up that 8-yard rush and just throw him off there on the trickeration. Sort of move this ball 3rd and short. You want to capitalize and just push this ball as far into the red zone as you can.
Snap. Hands it off. Livingston trying to use his power to get the 1st down. And, oh, no, that's actually Fox that gets the handoff this time. And he will use his power to just get enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest 1st down.
And that's just the physicality of these running backs right here. Just able to fit up, run through that D-line, get 3. You needed 2 to keep this drive extended, and he does just that. Jaron Fox again showing that playmaking ability, keeping this drive alive.
1st and 10, ball on the 26-yard line. Now Panthers just going with 1 back. Shotgun set, 2 wide on the near side. Long play action pass, looking near side, dumps it off to Ober. Ober trying to use his power and spins around, gets taken down at the 18-yard line. And that'll be a 9-yard gain for Joe Ober. And it'll be 2nd and 1. Again, using Ober as the dump-off man. And Ober using his power to get a good gain.
That's right. He's been the surprise of the night for me. Been out here. He's been targeted 3 times, 3 receptions for 20 yards. He's just been able to get upfield, make these plays, and get them right near the chains where they need to be to convert for another 1st down.
Shotgun set. 2 wide on the far side, on the near side. Snap. Long throwing it, and he will get it completed out to the near side sideline to Ward. And he will make the catch and get taken down at the 11-yard line. And that'll be enough for another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest 1st down.
And the Panthers, to start off this second half, has just been exhibiting the ability to move the ball. They've been doing it in such a balanced way, just showing that they can utilize any play call in their book, through the air, on the ground, whatever it takes. They have been moving the ball.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on the far side. They'll hand it off again, and this time taken down. Christopher Livingston gets a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 2nd and 6.
See, as the Panthers break into the 10-yard line, deep into the red zone, looking to capitalize once again. They've been very efficient here in the red zone tonight. And sometimes these drives, especially with these big play offense, they don't even need the red zone.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the far side. Snap, Livingston gets the handoff, and he'll just power his way through the line and into the end zone for the touchdown.
And that's exactly what this running back room is. You hand it off. Whoever is in that backfield, you trust to go get your yardage. You trust to go pick up whatever you need to pick up and put that ball in the end zone. Just like you mentioned, could all these running backs get to 2? Could they all get to the mark just like we saw in that St. James game? Now, a second running back has achieved that mark. Javier Higgins III, will he get it? You got to think, especially with this much time left in the game, only 2:22 left in the third, plenty of time for Javier Higgins to work this touchdown in.
Especially with it now as the extra point by Jan is up and good. So with 2:22 left to go in the third quarter, it's 35-0 now, Panthers. So you'd have to imagine that, you're going to see a lot more Javier Higgins coming into this game for the remainder of the third quarter and going into the fourth. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
2:22 left to go in the third quarter. Panthers lead it big, 35-0. Jan gets set to kick it away, and some whistles are blown. This might be a false start on Carolina Forest's kickoff team.
See, just a little too antsy there. Ready to get back to action, get back on the field, and just might have had a Panther get a little too antsy.
And that is what it's going to be. They'll march it back 5 yards. So now kicking off from the college kickoff spot.
See John get the opportunity to really show off that leg. Let him boot one down there, see what he can do.
John kicks it away. And they will take it, finding a bit of a lane before finally getting taken down at the 36-yard line. Davis on the return. Lykowski gets the tackle.
And Jamel Davis, former Panther, played here freshman, sophomore year. Got to know him. Practice was very, very interesting. To me and him go at it all the time. He played DB, I played receiver, and a very, very athletic guy there in that safety spot and a great return man for the Conway Tigers.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snap, hands the ball off, trying to find a lane, but quick. Actually, that is Brantley on the carry. And he'll get taken down at the 41-yard line by Roman Fisher and Darius Huggins. They'll mark him down at the 42-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 5. Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. Snap, hands the ball off, trying to find a lane, pushing forward near the first down marker. Mike Williams on the carry, and they're going to say he's just short of the line to gain, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
And with this Panthers defense, the way they've been fitting up to the run tonight, they've been playing it very, very well. They have been playing the run very, very well, all region play. This 3rd and 1 here, the Panthers, they fit up, they find their guy, they get through that line. This could be a big stop right here for this Panthers defense.
Shotgun set, 2 wide on either side. They'll hand it off, and Brantley gets shut down. They might have, depending upon the spot, he might have just gotten enough, but it looks like he's going to be a few inches short. Yeah, they're going to say he's a few inches short, and that brings up 4th and inches for Conway, and it looks like they're going to go for it.
Just like we mentioned, right at that stick, a potential for this defense, this run defense in particular, to make a big stand here against the Tigers.
Shotgun set, 1 wide, 2 wide on the other side, and the Panthers come up big, keeping Brantley at bay, keeping him behind the line of scrimmage, and they tackle him for a loss, and that's a turnover on down for the Panthers. And the Panthers offense will start in Conway territory.
And they do just that. Gary Tomlin makes a big play to get in that backfield, drag the back down, nowhere to go. He was looking for help. 4th and inches, just needed a couple inches to get the chains. Gary Tomlin fits up and drags him back, makes a huge play, and your Panthers are going to take over in plus territory.
Something that I didn't mention during that last drive that's interesting to note is Javon Smalls is still out there at quarterback. Not sure if leg is actually injured to where he's out, or if it's just a matter of they're thinking this game's over, so they're just basically letting him rest for the rest of the game, as they will hand the ball off, and that will bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. After 3, 35-0, Panthers in the lead. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the final quarter of action here at homecoming at Panther Stadium on the Carolina Forest Panther Football Network.
Switching is easy. We do it all the time. We switch on the lights. We switch TV channels. Some of us switch partners while square dancing. That's a stretch. But what's not a stretch is how you can switch and save with State Farm. In fact, State Farm agent Tony McAfee, right here in Carolina Forest, can switch you over so you can start saving today. Tony and his team are ready to welcome you to the State Farm neighborhood. With Tony McAfee, it's easy to switch and save. Just give him a call. When you want the real deal, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Panther Stadium on homecoming, with the Panthers leading at 35-0 for the Battle of 501. And what more can you say about this game other than, I mean, it was a bit of a slow start for the Panthers, but ever since the 2nd quarter, they've just been on a roll.
I think the main storyline for the Panthers has just been these big plays, putting them in a position to just walk away with this game.
And the running back room.
That's exactly right. The running back room is responsible for all of those big plays. We know that this offense goes through the running back room. We know that's where the price point of this offense is, and they're just putting it on full display tonight. I mean, 5 touchdowns accumulated all throughout that running back room. That was the story of the Myrtle Beach game as well. It's just all those touchdowns, the efficiency coming out of that room. These running backs are really well coached, all very, very talented, and they all share not exactly an equal workload, but a very similar workload with Jaron Fox leading the way, and they just have been rolling tonight, much less the same it has been throughout all of Region 6 5A play.
Javier Higgins out there trying to finish off the trifecta of 2 touchdown running backs, but instead they'll go with a screen pass out to the far side. Bryson Bailey makes the catch along the far side sideline.
And that's another tight end that we see on this roster, Bryson Dale. Very, very talented, and they're getting everybody incorporated tonight. Not only are we seeing this running back room go down, we're also seeing these tight ends, which is something we have not seen as much this season. This tight end room has gotten a very special workload. I don't know if that was the game plan going into this game, was to get them more involved, but they have definitely seen an increase in production tonight.
And the whistle is blown. Delay of game on the Panthers. So that'll cost them 5, make it a first and 15. That play by Dale was enough for a Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. First and 15, ball on the 33-yard line. Shotgun set, 1 wide on either side. Long takes the snap. Read up. Oh no, hands it off. Finds the lane and just unable to get into the end zone. Javier Higgins gets it down to the 8-yard line, and that'll be another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down. Almost finished off the trifecta right there.
Javier Higgins got very, very close to touching the end zone for the second time tonight. Would have been the trifecta that we've been talking about all night. And I have a feeling that he is going to be the man responsible for punching a touchdown in right here on this drive. You expect to see it go to the run. Just give the ball to Javier Higgins. And this offense is rolling deep into the red zone.
First and 10 from the 8. Snap, long, hands off to Higgins. Higgins gets taken down for a loss of 1. That time the Tigers had it scouted and ready to go.
That's right here. Second down at the 9-yard line. Running the ball is definitely not guaranteeing you to get to that goal line. The way we know this offensive line plays, their strength, just the way that they're able to create these holes and everything, I would assume we're going to see them go right back to the run.
Yeah.
But do you give the ball to Cam Long, give him some experience in the red zone passing the ball? It's going to be interesting to see what the play call here is exactly for this Panthers offense.
Second and goal from the 9. Long takes the snap, hands it back off to Higgins, and Higgins finishes off the trifecta. Just takes it through the middle of the gap and walks his way into the end zone through a couple of defenders.
So that explains it.
Yeah.
There's my answer.
Yep.
Should have known with the way this Panthers offense is so stout, so reliant on this run game, they're going to go right back to it. Trust the O-line to create the hole, and just let Javier Higgins create that trifecta.
3 running backs, 2 touchdowns apiece for the second game this season, as the extra point by Keon Jan is up and good. And just like that, it is now 42-0 with just over 10 minutes left to go in the game. And I think we are now officially in running clock time. We'll take a quick break, come right back with more Carolina Forest Panther football action.
Jennifer Mullen with Realty One Group Dockside is a 31-year resident with 18 years of experience representing both buyers and sellers. Jennifer has extensive knowledge of the Grand Strand real estate market and especially the Carolina Forest area. If you're ready to kick off your home search, contact Jennifer Mullen at yourcoastalrealtor.com. Again, that's Jennifer Mullen at www.yourcoastalrealtor.com.
Just over 10 minutes left to go in this one with the Panthers way out in front, 42-0, after Javier Higgins finishes off the trifecta of 2 touchdown running backs. Panthers getting ready to kick it away.
And for the Panthers, it's just been much of the same, just relying on that run game, sticking to your bread and butter. We talked about how you're at that 9-yard line. It's second down. Do you trust that O-line and your running back to make a play, open those gaps, find the end zone? They do, because they know exactly what this team is about, what this offense is about, and it works to perfection.
The kickoff will go out of bounds. So the Tigers will get some decent field position to start off this drive.
Looks like the Tigers will elect to take it on the 35-yard line, where it'll be first.
So,
for Conway.
Any guesses on what the score of the North Myrtle Beach game is?
I would have had one if it wasn't scoreless at the half, because now I'm all thrown off. I don't know what to expect coming out of that game. They could have turned up their offensive battle. I'm going to say 7-0 Myrtle Beach.
7-6 Myrtle Beach as the first play from scrimmage, rolling out to his right and throwing it complete to Jordan Jenkins. Javon Smalls with the throw, and that'll be enough for a Conway first down, bringing it out to the 49-yard line of Carolina Forest. But yeah, 7-6 Myrtle Beach. That one looks like it may go right down to the wire. And that's after 3 quarters there as well.
And for Myrtle Beach, just with that offense, again, we mentioned earlier, drawing these questions. Why are they playing such a close game? Why is North Myrtle sticking in that game? Why are they trailing them so much? What is going on in that game? We'll never truly know till we go back and see everything, see just how that game went down. But could that be a little concerning for the Panthers?
Yeah. Screen pass to Quick is absolutely blown up by Alicia. He is able to get a gain of 2, but a big hit by Jelani Alicia on that reception, and I'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
And he has just been so efficient in that short passing game tonight. He fits up so well. We see them playing a little shallow cover 2. He's waiting for that screen pass to come down, blows it up, and he's made big hit, big play after big play tonight.
Shotgun set, bunch trips on the far side, trying to roll out to his right and make a throw is Smalls, but has to throw it away under pressure, trying to get it out to Jenkins. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
And here are the Tigers, obviously, with 8:11 left to go, down 42-0. You'd expect them to go for it on 4th down, hence if they get to that position. But it's just been tonight dominant by the Panthers. We expected it coming in. Started off a little slow, like you mentioned earlier, and from there on out, they just sort of turned up, played their game, did what they had to put this one on ice, and really showed off some strengths. Also some weaknesses that need to work on getting exposed.
There was a flag on Conway that kind of surprisingly was declined by Carolina Forest. Once again, trying to roll out to his right is Smalls. Tried to get it to Jenkins, and they will say he was able to make the catch, diving down to make the catch on a low thrown ball. And that'll be a Conway first down.
If your parents dropped you off in the stadium,
Great job there from the receiver to be able to get down there, make that catch right at the chains, able to keep this drive going for Conway. And at this point in the game, obviously, you can take any positive morale you can take. And right there, just going able make that catch, great play, keep those chains moving for the Tigers.
Shotgun set, bunch trips on the near side, and after taking a 5-step drop, Smalls trips. The turf monster gets him, and Wineglass is right there to just tap him down for the sack.
That's exactly right. Jalen Wineglass, so much pressure has been accumulated from him these past couple games in region play. He's just been all over the place in the backfield, just making quarterbacks think, make difficult decisions, and overall go down in that backfield.
That will be a 10-yard loss for Conway. They'll bring up a 2nd and 20. From the 49-yard line. Snap, hands it off, trying to bounce it around the edge is Brantley. He'll get pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 14. 3rd and 13.
And the Tigers here, you imagine if they get to that 4-down territory, they're already in it. They're going for it. Just kind of keep these drives moving, get their guys in, see what they can do, positive morale down the stretch.
Trying to avoid a shutout.
That's exactly right. Put any type of points you can on the board. You just want to make the stats look a little better and a little more manageable than they actually were.
There is a Panther down on the field.
And especially this late in the game.
Not a good sign.
That's right. Up 42-0. This game's over. It's been on ice since the second quarter. Not what you want to see for the Panthers. Again, it's another one of these situations you just hold your breath and hope it's nothing serious.
Looks like he'll be able to walk off on his own power, although does need a little bit of help, has a little bit of a limp. That will be number 71.
Always a good sign to see a player walk off under their own power.
14. Ball's on the 42-yard line.
He's one of the JV backups, so at least in terms of the Panthers moving forward, fortunately, if it's a injury that will keep him out, not too big of a blow. As the play is thrown out, Brantley is able to make the carry and get another first down for Conway.
And for Conway here, doing just what we mentioned earlier, trying to avoid that shutout, put any type of points they can here on the board. Under 6 minutes left here to go in the fourth quarter, and they're just trying to get anything they can to pad those stats and make the score prettier. A shutout is never a good look on that card.
Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side, low snap, trying to take it himself, trying to get it into the end zone himself is Smalls, but he will slide down at the 9-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 2.
And here for the Panthers, you want that shutout. You want that score to look as vicious as it was. You know you had their number all game. You know you dominated this matchup. They want it. They want it to represent that in the score. They want that score to read nothing.
Panthers trying to get their second shutout, their first shutout on the good side for them this season. They were shut out themselves by Huff earlier on in the season. Snap, and it's on the ground. We'll see who got it.
Football came loose, number 17, Javon Smalls.
And they will say Smalls was able to fall back on it.
And for the Tigers, that's going to be a fumble that's going to push them back.
Yeah.
They're nearing the 10-yard line. They're pushing it deeper and deeper into the red zone play after play. And any sort of small momentum that they just build up right there just quickly diminishes with a killer mistake for the Tigers. You don't want to get shut out, and it's mistakes like that that just allow the shutout to happen. And for the Tigers, they just hope they can do whatever they can to push back and get a better opportunity.
4 minutes left to go in this one. 3-step drop, lofting it into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Good defense on the far side, although there might be a flag. This might be a pass interference on Xavion Wins. Last time the Panthers were able to get a shutout was last season when they shut out Sockasty 31-0.
And Conway's going for the field goal. They want any sort of points they can to avoid the shutout.
So Brantley Hall will come on to attempt the field goal. It is up and no good. And the Panthers, more than likely, especially with the running clock, should survive with the shutout intact. Like I mentioned, last time they were able to shut out an opponent was last season against Sockasty, beating the Braves 31-0. This will be a bigger shutout, at least 42-0. And we'll wait to see if the Panthers try to do anything with 2.5 minutes left to go in the game, or if they'll basically just clock it and let this one run out. Snap. Hand off on a jet sweep. Ober takes it. He's going. He's still on his feet before finally getting pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. A little jet sweep for Joe Ober, and he gets a big gain for the Panthers and another Tony McAfee State Farm Carolina Forest first down with 2 minutes left to go in the game.
And he has really just had an opportunity to show off what he can do. Not only in the receiving game, he shows it off there on a little jet sweep, taking it for 33 yards. He is such a dangerous weapon, not to mention he is so good in the block game. Joe Ober just putting himself on the map tonight with a great game.
Whistles are blown as it was going to be a play action screen pass out to Schubert, but looks like this might be a false start on the Panthers. And with the running clock, you'd have to imagine that this one's pretty much over. 1:20 and counting left to go in this game.
Make sure you call for a ride. First and 15.
And it will be a false start on the Panthers. So it'll be a 1st and 15. Shotgun set, 3 wide on the near side. Snap, they'll go screen pass again, and this one thrown a little too low. Again trying to get it to Schubert, but no dice this time. And it is with 45 seconds left to go. This more than likely will be the last play of the game.
As we see there, Conway defender comes up thinking that ball was backwards a little bit, trying to get anything they can.
Trying to get that fumble 6.
Anything they can to get on the scoreboard.
Snap, throwing it out to the far side, completed, but nowhere else to go as Caden Cole makes the reception, and that will do it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. The Panthers are leaving the field. And this one is a final 42-0. Panthers win this one, and they do end up adding this one to the top 10 as well. This ties the number 8 spot for biggest win in program history, along with, ironically, back in 2020, it was the exact same score against Conway, 42-0. Back in 2020, Panthers also had their biggest scoring game, or tied for the biggest scoring game in program history in 2020, when they beat St. James 70-28 back in 2020. A few wins from 2019, 2016, and 2014 round out the games that were plus 42, and this one will be added to it with a final score 42-0. Panthers dominate the Tigers on homecoming in the second to last week of the season. Any final thoughts before we sign off on this one?
The final thoughts, the trifecta. This running back room, this carousel, just like we mentioned it. Jaron Fox, rushing touchdown, receiving touchdown. Chris Livingston, 2 big rushing touchdowns, and then flip the script. Javier Higgins, 2 rushing touchdowns of his own. This running back room is just super efficient. They put up numbers week after week. Throughout region play, they just had clean games, been looking so good. This O-line's been doing a phenomenal job at creating these blocks, creating these spaces, allowing these running backs to feast, and this offense has just been, it's been in full swing. You've been seeing this full potential of the Panthers offense. It's just been looking amazing. Very, very promising throughout region play. Heading into your final matchup, the matchup to determine the region, your big matchup to end the season. You cannot draw it up any better. It's dramatic, it's anticipation, and for the Panthers, it's just the way this season has been. Close matchups, anticipation have been the storyline, and it's going to end on that note.
So before we sign off, a final update for you guys. The North Myrtle Beach game is not over yet, but Myrtle Beach leading the Chiefs 21-6 with 2:05 left to go in that one. So, barring a miracle, you'd have to imagine that the Seahawks are going to win that game, which means that the Panthers, that game next week is still for the region. So if North Myrtle Beach is able to win that game, they will, I believe, have the tiebreaker. But the Panthers have their destiny in their own hands when they will face the Chiefs here at Panther Stadium next week, final week of the season, trying to finish off an undefeated Region 6 5A schedule and win the region championship. For Brogan Hillman, I'm Brandon Biskobing saying so long, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Once again, final score, Panthers beat the Tigers in the rivalry game on homecoming.